What's good, Mzansi? Welcome back to DGI News Danger Gavar Ngozi, the only news desk that skips the political grandstanding to bring you the stories the mainstream media completely missed while they were arguing on Twitter. I'm your anchor Nathan, and it is Thursday, May 28th, 2026. If you thought you knew what was going on in the country today, buckle up. We have 5 brand new, completely bizarre stories that we haven't covered before, and they are guaranteed to make you question the simulation we are living in. Number 1, the Great Departure Delay, 10 out of 300. We kick things off with a story from the Department of Home Affairs that sounds like a math problem gone wrong. A scheduled repatriation flight for Ghanaian nationals voluntarily leaving South Africa was severely delayed on the tarmac this week. The reason? Security checks revealed that out of the 300 people boarding the plane, only 10 were actually in the country legally. The brilliant irony here is that people actively trying to leave the country were stopped by border control because they weren't supposed to be here in the first place. The sheer administrative headache of trying to deport people who are already deporting themselves is peak South African bureaucracy. Fact: the flight was delayed for hours while officials tried to process the paperwork for 290 undocumented individuals who were already sitting in their window seats. For the ordinary South African, it's a gentle reminder that our border control works exactly like a nightclub bouncer. They only check your ID when you're trying to leave. Number 2, taxi boss, Ferrari, hits a speed bump moving to Mpumalanga. A high-profile extortion and money laundering case is back on the court roll today. The man at the center of the drama, a notorious local taxi boss known on the streets as Joe Ferrari Sibagnoni. The undisputed humor in this situation is a man operating a fleet of Toyota Quantums aggressively branding himself as an Italian luxury sports car. The sobering reality, however, is that organized crime in the transport sector is a massive issue holding back local economies. Fact: the case is being heard in the Delmas Magistrates Court, dealing with millions of rands in alleged protection fees. For ordinary citizens, it means the justice system is finally catching up. Unfortunately, while his nickname is Ferrari, the South African legal process still moves at the speed of a broken-down tractor. Number 3, the 2026 poster invasion begins. Look up at your local street pole, Mzansi, because it has officially begun. Over in Johannesburg, DA leaders Helen Zille and Solly Mzimanga were spotted proudly zip-tying the very first election posters of the 2026 local government campaign to a pole at Constitution Hill. It is always great to see our democratic process in action and politicians putting in the manual labor for a change. However, we are still recovering from the last election cycle. Seeing politicians' faces on streetlights this early triggers severe national fatigue. Fact: the local government elections are the ultimate battleground for municipal budgets and service delivery. For you at home, it means your daily commute is about to turn into a gallery of smiling faces promising to fix the pothole you just drove through. Brace yourselves. Number 4, Sizwe Delomo drops the morning mech. Let's talk about the morning commute. In a massive shock to the radio industry, veteran broadcaster Sizwe Delomo abruptly announced on air yesterday that he is walking away from his wildly popular breakfast show, Siz the World, on Kaya 959. The win for Sizwe is that he gets his mornings back. No more waking up at 3 a.m. to entertain us. The devastating blow is for the thousands of Gauteng drivers who relied on his daily hot takes to keep them awake while stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the M1. Fact: the announcement was made live, sending shockwaves through the local media landscape as stations scramble for breakfast dominance. For the ordinary listener, your morning drive just got a lot quieter. You might actually have to listen to your own thoughts in traffic now. Terrifying, we know. Number 5, the Rooibos skincare supremacy. Finally, we end on a proudly South African milestone. This week, Aniek Rooibos is officially celebrating 55 years of innovation. Yes, it has been over half a century since we realized that our national tea isn't just for dunking Uma rusks, it's also for your face. The incredible triumph here is celebrating a homegrown botanical that has conquered the global health and beauty market. We took a bush from the Cederberg and convinced the world it's a miracle cure. The slightly hilarious side is that South African mothers now believe rooibos can fix absolutely anything, from a bad sunburn and a stomachache to a broken heart and a bad credit score. Fact: South Africa exports thousands of tons of rooibos globally every year, uniquely protected by a geographic indicator status. For Mzansi, the bottom line is simple: respect the tea. It has done more for our global reputation than most of our politicians. To wrap up today's hidden headlines, Home Affairs stopped a plane full of people trying to leave. A taxi boss named Ferrari is stuck in legal traffic. The 2026 election posters are already haunting our streets. Sizwe Dlomo is sleeping in, and rooibos is officially 55 years old and still glowing. It's a beautifully chaotic country, Mzansi. But remember, no matter how wild the headlines get, as long as we have our humor and a strong cup of rooibos, we can survive absolutely anything. That's your deep dive for today. If you appreciate getting the real, unfiltered stories that the mainstream misses, smash that like button and subscribe to the DGI News YouTube channel right now. Jump into the comments section below and let us know, what is the weirdest thing your mother ever tried to cure using a rooibos tea bag? I'm Nathan. This was Danger Gavar Ngozi. Stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll catch you on the flip side.